Many have lost their dreams for God. And so many as well don't even have dreams for God because they don't know God. And no one has told them about God. They have no idea of God's purpose for their lives and the work that God has called all of us to do. And some of us think that it's not yet time to build the house of God because business is not picking up yet. And some of us think that it's not yet time to build the house of God because COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over. Some of us think that it's not yet time to build the house of God because there's just many disasters going on. Now, I do understand that. I do understand the overwhelming situation we are facing. This year's been crazy, right? But, by the way, we will face more troubles tomorrow. For sure, there will be more troubles tomorrow as each day has enough troubles of its own, right? So if you're thinking this way, that it's not yet time to build the house of God, then you have to give careful thoughts to your ways. Haven't you noticed you earn wages only to put them in a purse with holes in it? Haven't you noticed that you expected much, but it turned out to be little? This is because the house of God remains a ruin in your lives. But God has called a drought so that you will understand that God is against your direction on how you live your life. Is it time for you yourselves to be living in your paneled houses where the house of God remain a ruin? Are you living comfortably in your glass house? Are you living comfortably in your tiled house, in your laminated house, while God's house is in ruin? God's house remain a ruin while we are busy, or you are busy with your own house. God's house remain a ruin because you are too busy in your own house, in your own domestic issues, in your personal problems, and you are not contributing to rebuilding the house of God. Today, what we are doing, this fundraising, is all about rebuilding God's house in Cebu and the Visayas. Amen? And I want to lift up everyone in this committee. All right? The singers, the graphics team, the computer specialists that we have, the marketing team, and everyone else who spent countless hours and sacrificed so much time, money, and energy to make this event to happen so that we can have an avenue to raise funds for the rebuilding of the house of God in Cebu. These are examples of people who went up to the mountain to bring down the timber in order to build the house of God. Amen? And you have proven yourselves to build the house of God first than your own house. You have prioritized building God's house than your own. And God is super proud of you, and surely He will not forget you, and He will bless your efforts and your life.